All right, ladies and gentlemen, guys, we'd like to welcome you to the show. This is your host of the evening, DJ Just Jay with Just Dimes ENT, your host of the Soda You Dig. Guys, what I want to do is I want to tell you guys about a story. I'm going to make this really quick. It's a great story, and I want to continue to keep telling you guys that we advocate for children first. This is going to be another sad incident of a case where we're having to report on a story where I wish we did not have to, but unfortunately, we have lost another child to a broken system, to a parent that probably should not have had their custody of this kid. But unfortunately, like I said, I'm going to be reporting this because the child is posthumous. But nonetheless, here we go. All right. Now, Las Vegas police arrested a mother after investigators searching for a missing toddler found the body of a young girl in a duffel bag at the woman's apartment Thursday night, authorities said. Now, Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department Homicide Lieutenant Ray Spencer said that the girl was reported missing just before 9 p.m. on the 6800 block of East Lake Mead Boulevard near Hollywood Boulevard. Now, according to initial reports, the mother, right there on my screen, right there, that creature on the screen, identified as 29-year-old Aisha Thomas. Now, that's Aisha's mom right there, just to let you guys know, okay? But 29-year-old Aisha Thomas was walking to Albertsons with her 4 children and was on the phone. Oh, God. Okay, let's back up because that was a whole lot of information all at one time. I don't know if you guys caught that or not. According to initial reports, Aisha Thomas was walking to Albertsons with her 4 children and was on the phone when one of her kids wandered off and went missing, Las Vegas television station KVVU reported. Now, detectives from Metro Police's missing persons detail responded and began searching the neighborhood. What was said? There we go. Thank you very much, Fair Play. Now, detectives set up a command post in the parking lot of the Albertsons for additional resources, Spencer said. Meanwhile, officers began looking for the girl inside Thomas's apartment, but they weren't unable to find the child at first. Okay? Now, officers then conducted a second search since Thomas's story began showing inconsistencies, meaning that she was telling things and they weren't adding up, right? They just used their supersized common sense, according to Spencer. Now, during the second search, police noticed a heavy duffel bag inside the master bedroom's closet that was emitting a mildew smell. You see that little beautiful girl on the right-hand side of my screen right there? Guys, I hate doing these stories, but I'm going to continue to keep exposing these bad parents until we can somehow get fathers back in the household and stop the abuse of these children, okay? Now, let's keep going. Officers then conducted a second search at her apartment when they went into the master bedroom and smelled something that smelled like mildew. They found garbage bags, plural, garbage bags, when they opened the duffel bag, Spencer said. They opened the bags and found the body of the missing 3-year-old. Now, Thomas was arrested on suspicion of murder, Las Vegas police said. The other 3 children were placed in the care of Child Protective Services, CPS, hashtag where are the fathers. I'm assuming there are probably more than one father in this story. And actually, that's the father of this little girl that is dead right now. But if you want to know where he was at, his name, I'll get his name back up on the screen here in just a second. But he was actually, believe it or not, I don't know if you guys believe this or not, but he was in jail when this happened. Go figure, right? Now, the other 3 children were placed in protective custody. According to Spencer, police believe the girl was killed within the last 3 days. 4 days ago, the girl's father had been arrested after a domestic violence call was placed, according to Spencer. Right. So you got 2 violent ass people in the house And then this little girl ended up dead behind all of this BS that is going on around her. She has no control over it. Y'all see that beautiful little face right there? This little girl did not stand a chance against grown adults. And that's part of what I keep talking about. That's why we're going to continue to keep talking about these mothers in the manner that we do, because these children cannot protect themselves. At 3 years old, I'm pretty sure she don't know how to call 911. I'm pretty sure that she doesn't really have the ability to speak out and say, hey, this is what's going on. This is what's happening to me. Because whenever you have a child, it is expected that that mother and father are to be the ones that protect, provide, nourish, cherish, and make sure that these kids have everything that they need as they grow up into being self-sufficient human beings. Everybody understand where we're coming from? So yes, he got locked up right before this, which begs to ask the question, what did he get locked up for? And was that connected to the reason why she ended up killing this little girl? It makes you wonder. It makes you wonder. Not a lot going on about this story so far, but let me go ahead and give you guys a little bit more information about the father if I can get his information on the screen. Now, that dude right there, his name is Don Hunt, D-O-N and then H-U-N-T. And he was in jail at the time of his daughter's death on a domestic violence charge. But like I said, we don't know why he was in jail. Now, he had been arrested August 19th by Las Vegas police investigating a domestic violence complaint at the apartment. Now, Thomas remains in jail without bond pending an October 1st hearing to determine if she'll stand trial on a murder charge. Now, her court-appointed attorney, Sarah Hawkins, said Thomas will plead not guilty. Now, Thomas's 3 other children, all under the age of 3. Golly. Woo. Okay. That means if she had 4 children, that means she had them back to back to back to back, and she must have had a newborn. Since they didn't want to put the children's ages out there, I'm going to tell you guys, they have to be 3, 2, 1, and newborn. 3, 2, 1, and newborn. If she has 4 children. Please take your pens, put it in the book, put it in that part of the story. We'll come back to that another time. All right. Now, jail records show Thomas also faces multiple warrants for unpaid traffic infractions and separate felony bad check and misdemeanor obstruction charges. Yes, right? Now, Dejah's paternal grandmother, who was right there on the screen right there, her name is Stansberry, and she launched a GoFundMe page to raise money for the toddler's funeral. Now, as of Friday afternoon, nearly $2,000 has been donated, but more is in there right now. I'll talk about that here in a moment. Now, she quotes this: "There's no more calling me Nana. There's no more of any of that from her," Stansberry told KTNV of Dejah. "And for me, this is a nightmare that I just want to wake up from." All right. Now, let me tell you guys, this is where we stand with the GoFundMe. Let me see if I can get this on the screen for you guys real quick. Okay. Ooh, wait a minute. All right. Let's see. Boom. Right there. That's where we're at with the GoFundMe. And that's GoFundMe.com/bringing-Dejah-Amara's-body-home. Bringing her body home. Now, I will say this, because you guys know that I've actually talked pretty bad about some people that made GoFundMe pages, and they were asking like for tons of money and didn't really say a whole lot when it came to the GoFundMe, right? So what I will say for this particular story, at least they took time to develop this this particular GoFundMe page, okay? So what I'm gonna do, let me see if I can give you guys a little bit more to look at, so I can give you a little bit of a better idea about what I see here, okay? Let me give you more to screen to look at. All right, there we go. Let me scoot this over just a little bit. There we go. Now, they actually even have a tribute video, which I will show you guys here at the very end. But as you can see, they're asking for $5,000 and they've raised $3,712, and this is all within 9 days, and they have 134 people that are supporting. Now, here's where we're at. Uh-oh, wait a minute. Did I lose it? Here's the story. She said, I never thought that I would ever have to do a page like this. My granddaughter, Dejah Amara Hunt, is the 3-year-old that was missing in Las Vegas and was later found that her mother had killed her 2 to 3 days before reporting her missing. I am in need of financial assistance in helping with my granddaughter's funeral expenses. Her body needs to be released first to a funeral home in Vegas in order for her to be prepped and ready to transport her to California. They would not pick her up from the coroner's office until they have their money. Whatever you can contribute to help us in bringing my grandbaby home will be greatly appreciated. That was what was said. At least I can respect the fact that she took time to make sure and write at least enough based on what she was asking for. So here we go. Let me go ahead and give you guys the fair usage, and let's go ahead and start with our first video. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
The woman you see on your screen right now, this woman has been charged with murder. Police found the body of a 3-year-old stuffed inside of a duffel bag inside of her apartment. Investigators say that Aisha Thomas called them last night saying that her daughter had disappeared. She told officers that she was with her 4 children when they went across the street to the store. But when police started looking through the neighborhood right near Lake Mead in Hollywood, the mother's story started to unravel. Officers searched Thomas's apartment twice before making the horrific discovery. At last check, Thomas's 3 other children are in protective custody. The woman you see on your screen right now, this woman has...
Okay, let me go ahead and bring up my next video, and I actually have some information to report to you guys. I don't know if the video is going to actually tell you this or not, but I'll tell you if it doesn't show you.
Well, the mom charged with the murder of her 3-year-old daughter, whose body was found in a duffel bag last week, made her first court appearance this morning. Aisha Thomas, clearly distraught during the hearing. There she is. Police say that she lied to officers, saying that her daughter, Dejah, was missing. Well, she told officers that she was with her 4 kids when they went to the store. But they discovered holes in her story when they got there, and officers searched Thomas's apartment twice. Then they made that horrific discovery. 13 Action News spoke to the grandmother on Friday, and she contacted our newsroom when she thought the child was missing.
I thought I would go before my grandkids. I didn't know I would be burying one of my 3-year-olds.
Well, Tina, the grandmother there, she actually came to Las Vegas over the weekend to take care of the other children who were placed in protective custody. Well, the mom charged...
I don't know if you got... Man. I don't know if you guys caught that at the beginning, but they were talking about around this point. Let me see if I can scroll to her face. Roughly about here, and I use that term loosely. What they end up saying is they said that the mother is visibly distraught. There were lies and holes in her story. Yes. Thank you, Teddy on Fire. He said exactly what I said. Why do they even need to talk about her being distraught? What does that even matter? Don't you guys think that's a little weird? Do you guys think that they're trying to set her up, that maybe the father had something to do with her on an emotional level? She's clearly distraught. All of the mothers that keep getting off on these murders of these children, they're not being held accountable for their actions, right? Usually the ending result of these court cases, which is why I said the next 3 months of this year are going to be very important to find out about stories like Sierra Day, who end up murdering her daughter, Anaya Day Garrett, and some of these other stories that we've done this year. Those court dates are coming up. Those trials are coming up at the end of this year, October, November, December. We got a lot of court dates coming up, so we're going to end up doing a lot of updates, and hopefully we won't end up getting a lot more stories like this, because you guys have been emailing me a lot of them, so I'm hoping that I mean, the nature of what's going on with you know, parents not really having any accountability when it comes to the mothers raising these kids by themselves and stuff like that. I think that this violence is going to continue to keep going, but I hope that we could do less and less stories like this. I really do. But I think that they're important. That's why I continue to keep talking about them, okay? But I just want to throw that out there, and I want you guys to hear what they said. They said she was visibly distraught. Who gives a damn? Who gives a damn if she's distraught? She killed a 3-year-old. What is that? What does her being distraught even matter?
Dejah Thomas, clearly distraught during the hearing. There she is. Thomas, clearly distraught during the hearing. Thomas, clearly distraught during the hearing. There. Thomas, clearly distraught.
They're saying clearly distraught as in like somebody else did this to her kid or something, like she didn't actually do it. When there were some things that she actually admitted to doing herself, which ended up causing this little girl to die. But let's go ahead and move on to our next portion. Let's keep going.
Thank you, Orko. The mother accused of killing her 3-year-old daughter before stuffing her body in a duffel bag is charged with open murder. 3-year-old Dejah Hunt was found in a closet last Thursday. Police say her mom, Dejah Thomas, initially reported her child missing not far from their apartment near Lake Mead in Hollywood. 8 News Now reporter Karen Castro has obtained a police report which reveals what happened to Dejah.
Good morning, Your Honor. Good morning.
For the second day in a row, Dejah Thomas appears before a judge, this time for the official filing of a criminal complaint.
Ms. Thomas, have you received a copy of the criminal complaint this morning? Do you understand the charges, ma'am?
The 29-year-old mother has been charged with open murder in the death of her 3-year-old daughter, Dejah Hunt. A police report says Thomas admitted to backhand.
I want you guys to look at something. Woo-wee. I want you guys to think about this. I just watched Tommy's video earlier. We have about 150 people watching the show right now live. Do me a favor, please click the thumbs up. I won't pause the video very much, but I want you guys to look at this picture and tell me, based on what you guys hear Tommy talk about all the time, what do you guys see from that picture right there? Somebody in the chat, I will give you a moment. Please tell me. If you guys want to type in the chat, this is your time to type in the chat right now because I'm looking at your comments. What do you see? What all do you see? What is wrong with this picture? There's a lot wrong with this simple little cropped picture. Make sure if people have already said one thing, make sure and say something different because there's a lot of things that's missing here. Okay, we see it's empty. Yes. No furniture. Yes. Trash in the room, potentially. Broom on carpet, but what? Wait, if you guys have been in a hood environment like I have, what does the broom on the carpet mean? Why is there a broom in the bedroom with a carpet? What should you be cleaning a carpet with when it comes to getting up dust and dirt off the carpet? What should you be using? A broom or what? Sparkplug, I like your answer. No, father. I like that answer. That's a good answer. Nope. A vacuum. Thank you, fair play. Thank you. Thank you. No vacuum. No furniture. I mean, I don't see a bed, but it could be one there. But it looks pretty bare, right? Just thought I'd throw that out there. Shout out to my brother Tommy Sotomayor because he causes us to think, and I love it. Think, think, think. All right, let's keep going.
Handing Dejah on her head for wetting her pants. The report goes on to say Dejah fell on the floor and wouldn't stop crying.
Yes, 4 kids in a small apartment plus mom. That's 5 people probably in a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment. That's something else to think about.
10 minutes later, after giving her some water, Thomas left the apartment and walked over to a convenience store. She came back, found Dejah unresponsive and wrapped in a blanket.
Another thing that should be weird, thank you, LaShawn. Thank you. LaShawn caught that also. There was one toy in that picture. So if she has a 3-year-old, a 2-year-old, a 1-year-old, and a newborn, should there not be more toys around? Just thought I'd throw that out there.
She told police she panicked, wrapped Dejah in multiple trash bags before putting her inside a duffel bag and hiding her body in a closet.
Can you afford to hire an attorney? All right, I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you.
It's unclear if she may face additional charges, but the judge is keeping Thomas in jail without bail. Meanwhile, Dejah's family is remembering the 3-year-old as a happy and loving child. Dejah's uncle, Isaiah Stansberry, made this video collage showing tender moments he shared with his niece. They are now planning her funeral. Karen Castro, 8 News Now.
Well, Thomas will be back in court October 1st. She also has another felony case pending for theft and insufficient funds. Yesterday, she pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor for making false statements to a police officer. Thank you.
Yep, so we're going to see if they're going to get her for lying and all of that other good stuff, right? So I feel you guys. I mean, if y'all want to let a few tears fall, I feel you. These stories are meant to make you guys feel here, think here, right? Because these are people that are around our neighborhoods all the time. I'm going to tell you guys, I'm one of those type of people. I'm one of those type of neighbors where when I'm living around people, I get to know my neighbors. Matter of fact, I ran into one of my neighbors earlier when I went to go eat, and she was at work. And she saw me and had the biggest smile on her face. She knows who she is. If she's watching the show, I'll make sure and tell her I gave her a shout out. But she came and gave me a big old hug. And we are not like super familiar with each other like that. But she was happy to see me. I've always been kind to her and her family and her kids and stuff like that. And I just think that means something when it comes to, you know, when I see her kids, when I'm concerned about her kids, when I'm concerned about other people's kids and their situations or anything that's going on in my neighborhood, I make sure that I am around, that I am aware, that I'm paying attention. But I just think that we all need to be very involved in making sure that we get to know people. I love the idea of, like, in a lot of neighborhoods you guys have seen where people will have home warming parties. They'll bring gifts and things over. A lot of the reason why people used to do that not only is to make people feel welcome, but to see the type of environment that more than likely a husband and a wife are going to have children around. If you guys think about that, you get a chance to look at the house, see what they got going on in there. If it looked like crap, then you'd be able to take a mental note of that. If you're bringing a child in a dangerous situation. So there's a lot of good things that come with making sure and getting to know your neighbors and stuff like that. But I think it's important that us as United States citizens, there are things that we can do, and we can always be a little more aware, a lot more cognizant of what's going on around us. Let's go ahead and get the next video up here. And I'm not going to take up too much of your time tonight, okay?
Good evening. We are learning more about the family of a 3-year-old girl whose body was found stuffed inside of a duffel bag in their home late last week. Thanks for joining us here at 6. I'm Denise Valdez.
And I'm Brian Loftus. The mother accused of killing her daughter is being held without bail. Investigators made the grim discovery at the home near Lake Mead and Hollywood Boulevards Thursday night after Thomas reported her daughter missing. 8 News Now reporter Karen Castro live in the newsroom with a new element to this developing story.
Well, Brian and Denise, last June, CPS opened an investigation after receiving a report of child abuse, but they closed the case after not being able to contact the family, and the agency says they didn't have enough evidence to substantiate the claims. Now, in the murder case against the mother, prosecutors are making sure she doesn't get out of jail, at least until they file criminal charges.
This defendant was arrested on Thursday. We are requesting until tomorrow, Tuesday, for the filing of a criminal complaint.
Aisha Thomas appears to be crying during a court appearance Monday morning. She's accused of killing her daughter, 3-year-old Dejah.
We have an arrest report. We have bare allegations and no charges.
The public defender for the 29-year-old mother suggested her bail be set at $50,000, given that Thomas doesn't have prior felony convictions and criminal charges haven't officially been filed.
What the... Are you kidding me? Wow. Did you guys catch that? 160 people watching. Did anybody catch that? What's up? What's up, Eagles is me? What's up, Unique Laura? Come on, guys. Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. What did you guys hear? What did you guys hear? $50,000 bail because she hadn't done anything wrong before. Yes, Southern Girl. I want you guys, when y'all watch this on the replay, go back and listen to what was played earlier in the video. When I talked about her actual criminal record, she actually does have a criminal record. Because they said that she has a whole bunch of unpaid parking. Matter of fact, let me go back and see if I can get it pulled up here. I'll read it to you guys again. I'm going to read it to you guys again because it bothered me that much. It's going to buffer just a little bit. So give me just a moment. Let me see if I can get this up for you guys. Here we go. Now I'm going to tell you why this is important. It says jail records, jail records, jail records. Take your pen out now, and now we're going to open that book up again. Yes, thank you, Amanda K. Thank you, Sean. Here we go. Jail records showed Thomas also faces multiple warrants for unpaid traffic infractions and separate felony bad check and misdemeanor obstruction charges. I'm going to read that one more time. Matter of fact, let me play the video. Let me let y'all hear what they said again. Because some of you guys might not have caught it, but I caught it as soon as they said it. Here we go.
Thursday. We are requesting until tomorrow, Tuesday, for the filing of a criminal complaint.
What's up, Concrete?
Aisha Thomas appears to be crying during a court appearance Monday morning. She's accused of killing her daughter, 3-year-old Dejah.
We have an arrest report. We have bare allegations and no charges.
The public defender for the 29-year-old mother suggested her bail be set at $50,000, given that Thomas doesn't have prior felony convictions and criminal charges haven't officially been filed.
There you go. Criminal charges haven't been officially been filed, so technically they are correct. But she's got things that are pending. They make it seem like she has no criminal record. She has criminal charges. Now, let me ask you guys something that if you guys have ever applied for a job before. On the application for a lot of jobs, when they ask you, do you have any criminal convictions? They normally will then in turn also ask, do you have any pending criminal things coming up? The reason why they ask that is because they want to be able to look into that and they want to know what type, because let's just say if you got a murder case pending, I mean, that's not good, right? If you know that you have felony bad checks, you have already lied to the police because they have found you out to be a liar already, and they're going to bring that up. They're going to actually bring that up in the court case. You have misdemeanor obstruction charges, as well as being financially irresponsible by getting traffic infractions and not paying for them, allowing them to lapse and lapse and lapse and lapse, and you're still driving, which means that she was probably driving or traveling under a suspended license also, which is also something that you can get in a lot of trouble for if you're caught. So I wanted to bring the pin out on that one. I wanted y'all to hear that.
Bare allegations and no charges.
The public defender for the 29-year-old mother suggested her bail be set at $50,000, given that Thomas doesn't have prior felony convictions and criminal charges haven't officially been filed. Prosecutors disagreed.
It's especially concerning the fact that we have no verified address and in conjunction with the charges the defendant is facing or potential charges that she's facing.
The judge sided with the prosecutor, saying based on an arrest report and an alleged confession by Thomas, it would be appropriate to keep her in custody without bail.
I'm trying to wake up from a nightmare.
Rubin-Stansberry is Dejah's grandmother. Her son is the young victim.
Oh, what was her name? Oh my God. These names. What was her name? Oh man. Is that like a variation of September? September? Come on, man. Come on, man. Which means she didn't have car insurance also. Thank you, Big Papa. I appreciate that. That is correct, Miss June Bennett. She is innocent till proven guilty. That is correct. But I think that whenever something is going on, when it comes to murder of a child, I think that all things should be considered, whether they are pending or whether they are just allegations. I think it matters. Especially when you're talking about giving somebody bail. I think it matters. When children are involved, I think it matters that they definitely need to bring those things up. Like I said, I'm not disagreeing with anything that you said, but I thought I'd throw that in there. Okay? Somebody said it's a bad play at an African name. Situmba. I can almost guarantee you that they were trying to be creative when they came up with her name. Y'all will say that's an African name. Situmba. September. How many of y'all know somebody that's named after a month? April, May, June, Miss June Bennett. September, November, December. Anyway, sorry. Let's keep going.
Alleged confession by Thomas, it would be appropriate to keep her in custody without bail.
Like I'm trying to wake up from a nightmare.
Rubin-Stansberry is Dejah's grandmother. Her son is the young victim's father. Don Hunt Jr. was arrested last Sunday on an out-of-state warrant unrelated to the murder.
God dang. Woo! Yo, the picture I showed of him looked way better than that one. Golly. Let me, damn. Let me show y'all. This is the picture that I put up of him. And matter of fact, to the gentleman, Don Hunt, if you ever see this video, feel free to email me at thesodayoudig@gmail.com. I'll be more than happy to talk with you about this, depending on the legalities. I don't know what I was coming from this particular case, but you know, if you end up making bail and if you get out or whatever and you want to talk to me, you can always email me. I'd love to hear what was actually going on with this story. Boy, that is a jacked up, golly. Is that not a stark difference? Damn, I would not even recognize this dude. I would have thought I had the wrong, guys, that is the same dude. You could tell some of the facial tattoos are still there, even from the picture at the bottom. Sheesh. Boy, that is a big difference.
Rubin-Stansberry is Dejah's grandmother. Her son is the young victim's father. Don Hunt Jr. was arrested last Sunday on an out-of-state warrant unrelated to the murder. Stansberry lives in California and will be in town later this week to figure out details for Dejah's funeral, as well as custody for her other 3 grandchildren that were hospitalized. She says 2-year-old twin girls had internal injuries and an 8-month-old baby boy was in stable condition.
And my heart is broken, and I don't think it will ever be the same.
Now, despite what her attorney said in court today, Thomas does have a criminal past. This morning, she pled guilty to a misdemeanor charge for making false statements to a police officer, and she has a pending felony case for theft and insufficient funds.
I want you guys to catch what they just said. She just pled guilty to something. Listen to this again.
This morning, she pled guilty to a misdemeanor charge for making false statements to a police officer.
Now, does that not give you a reason? Right there? So she pled guilty. If you plead guilty, now you're a criminal. So she does have a criminal record going into her court date. Thought I'd throw that out there. I'll let y'all hear that one more time.
Does have a criminal past. This
broken, and I don't think it will ever be the same.
Now, despite what her attorney said in court today, Thomas does have a criminal past. This morning, she pled guilty to a misdemeanor charge for making false statements to a police officer, and she has a pending felony case for theft and insufficient funds. Again, she'll be back in court tomorrow on the murder case. Live in the newsroom, Karen Castro, 8 News Now.
Good evening.
All right, guys. Now, the last video I'm going to show you guys before we go ahead and get up out of here, yes, hashtag bail denied. She definitely don't deserve no damn bail at all. I mean, I don't understand how a person can be thinking about saving themselves. I don't understand how a person can hurt a 3-year-old. You know what? I do, because you know why? Hashtag babies for benefits. How many times have I told you guys that the majority of these mothers only end up having babies for benefits? Hashtag where is my brother Roger? I need somebody to go get my brother Roger and let them know that this mother had 4 kids, count them, 4 kids, from 3 years old to 2 years old to 1 year old to newborn. Based on the fact that the 3-year-old is the oldest, that would seem to be the only thing that makes sense. Hashtag babies for benefits. BFB, babies for benefits. Why else would somebody have that many kids back to back to back to back like that? Somebody who is struggling financially, writing bad checks because they have insufficient funds, leads me to believe, based on the evidence that we have, that this person was struggling financially, meaning they would do anything and everything, even including illegal things, to accumulate funds, meaning that she probably was also guilty of being on welfare. The chances are very high, because it's very easy for a mother with a shit ton of kids to be able to get welfare, Title IV-D. Very easy. That's the easiest thing in the world for a woman of our skin hue and our community, right? Easiest thing in the world for them to do is to get pregnant, have kids, get benefits. Because you're not having these kids because you love them. You're not having these kids because you want to have them in a stable household, clearly, right? So one would have to ask the question, do they care about these children? Based on what I've seen and read about this story, she don't care about none of them kids that she got at all. It was too easy. Because what she did so far, and I think she's even lying about this, she said that she backhanded, and you guys can find that in the documents, she backhanded her kid, and that's what she's admitted to so far with regard to the physical violence to the kid, which I think that's BS. I think she probably did a hell of a lot more than that, but we'll be able to find out more once the court case starts and once we be able to get more of the actual confirmed information from the investigation. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it right there. Thank you guys for coming through to the show. We got a lot more court dates coming up. She has a court date coming up, I believe they said on October the 1st, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see if I can run past that again. These web pages keep getting stuck on me. Oh, God. Man. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to stay away from some of these web pages. I'm going to just have to start copying the information. But if I'm not mistaken, I think her court date is coming up next month, at the beginning of next month. But like I said, we're going to go ahead and cut it right there. I want to thank you guys for coming through to the show. Thank you for everybody that supports the show and continues to support the show and what we stand for. And we are all about advocating for children first here at the So Do You Dig. We're going to continue to do that. We're going to continue to speak down on bad parenting, because bad parenting cannot continue to happen in our community. Okay? It cannot continue to happen. We have to speak out, and if the most powerful thing that we can do right now is speak out, then by all means, all of us need to continue to keep speaking out. Use your social media for some good. All right. Now let's go ahead and end it right there, and let me see if I can get you guys some music up on the screen real quick. There we go. And yes, I did get you guys donations, so I'm about to read them right now, because a couple of extra ones came through. So let me go ahead and read from the people that continue. It's usually like a small collective of people. For everybody else that's watching the show, if you guys want to contribute to the show, then all I ask is that find it in your heart at least one time a month to donate 4 quarters. Just hit the PayPal, donate 4 quarters to the show. Every once in a while, the more people we get to do that, the more to continue to support the show, the more time I'll have to be able to invest in doing this and continue to keep speaking out and reaching out to our children. I do, matter of fact, like I tend to reach out to people in real life too. Like I say, a lot of people know some of the stories I share, but for the ones that I don't, maybe I'll start sharing those personal stories with you guys. But like I say, I definitely believe in caring about any and all children, right? because it's very common that our black children do not have positive male figures around. They don't. I can tell you guys as many times as I've been to like the grocery store or anywhere that I'm going and I see the little kids walking around, a bunch of little kids with their mom, and they see a black man walking by and they look at me like just with this gleam in their eyes, and it's crazy. Like, you could tell these kids need fathers. They're not used to having fathers. They don't know what being a man is. They don't know what it's like to have a man around, but it's very, very, very vital for the development of children and for the development of our world and community.